All right. What's up, people? I think Rumble deleted one of my I don't know if they deleted it or not. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to go to. It's going to be Surah 15. That would be. Again. Okay, so. Hijra is going to mean something like. Okay, it's a migration. It's a migration. So when you talk about the Hajj, right? Now, we want to get to is we're going from verse 26 and then we're going down to verse 50. So 26 to 50. And you can see that I have all the motherfucking rainbow colors. But before we get to that, we want to go to the previous. Before I get to, what I'm getting ready to say. And then what we're dealing with is okay, so one of the things that I find fascinating about the Qur'an is that I think there's a subtext in it. And the subtext is what I call the book of clear signs. So it's like they will say, and it's like he's going through all the stuff. These are the miracles of reality. Basically, you're dealing with, how should I put this? Not natural law, but it's kind of like just the miracles of the reality of the earth itself. It is we who control life and death, and we are the ultimate inheritors, and we fully know that. It's like Job out of the whirlwind type of behavior. But then we get to this part here, right? And I'm going to try to explain something different this time because the last one, oh yeah, this is part 2, by the way. 2 minutes in, yeah, it's part 2. Go back to Surah 7 if you want part 1. Okay, so this is why I say I like this rendition better than Surah 7. I just really do. I think this is a better rendition, but it's not contradictory. So it's like you get more and less. We created the human being from aged mud, like the potter's clay. As for the jinn, we created them before that. Meaning the jinn come before man. That's why it's always jinn and man. Anywho, from blazing fire, your Lord said to the angels, I am creating a human being from aged mud, like the potter's clay. Once I perfect him and blow into him from my spirit, you shall fall prostrate before him. See how this is already being more evocative than Surah 7. It's more evocative. It's more like just these 2 ayat right here. You can see already that it's much more involved in the story itself. The angels fell prostrate, all of them, except Iblis. He refused to be with the prostrators. Notice how that he refused to be with the prostrators. And then if you go back to, Surah 7, I believe it says he was not among. So, like, again, it's interesting the way that this whole thing kind of turns. He said, O Iblis, why are you not with the prostrators? Iblis said, hold on. I am not to prostrate before a human being whom you created from aged mud, like the potter's clay. Now see, this is softening up a little bit from 7, because remember what I said about 7 and how you could, probably be a apologist. And then, okay, so I stopped there. This was my first analysis. Now we're getting into my other analysis. He said, therefore, you must get out. You are banished. You have incurred my condemnation until the day of judgment. Now notice I'm using the pink for God, and then I'm using the orange for Iblis, or the Lord, Satan, Christ. I'm kidding. We don't do that. You have incurred my condemnation until the day of judgment. And then he said, my Lord, respite me until that day in which they are resurrected. He said, you are respited until the specified day and time. He said, my Lord, since you have entitled me to go astray, I will surely entice them on earth. I will send them all astray. Continue. Except those among your worshippers who are devoted absolutely to you alone. He said, this is a law that is inviolable, untouchable, in other words. You have no power over my servants. You only have power over the strayers who follow you, and hell awaits them all. It will have 7 gates. Not 9, 7. QV the Qur'an, motherfucker. Each gate will get a specific share of them. As for the righteous, they will enjoy the gardens and springs, enter therein, peaceful and serene. We remove all jealousy from their hearts like one family. They will be no family encounters. Never will they suffer any fatigue. Never will they be evicted. Inform my servants that I am the forgiver, the most merciful, and that my retribution is the most painful of all of these. Now, you notice when I recite, not only am I reciting in English, which is forbidden, but I changed the words. Oh no, what did I change? You saw it when I was doing it, when I was reading it. You saw exactly what I was doing. What I want to focus on, and because I have to make this a different video than the last one, what I want to focus on is the placement. Right? So we have this, and it starts, ayat 26, and we go down and down. And then immediately, inform them about Abraham's guests. See, that's a break. So this whole part here, like I said, you ayat 26, that's how you can dig deeper if you want to. But I think you go ayat 26 and then to ayat 50, and it almost looks like that is squeezed in to the text. Like it was placed in. And this is always what happens, is because we're talking about, what are we talking about here? Every time a messenger went, they were ridiculed. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you can go back to, and I don't have the verse off the top of my head because I'm not a Christian scholar, but I'm reminded of something Jesus said about no prophet is respected in his own hometown, or something like that. So then we go through a book of signs, and I'm going to have to go back through this. What 8 is it's the 8th reference to jinn. This is a working text, so like you won't understand a lot of what I'm doing. It's okay, don't worry about it. But I think that this whole thing, the fall of Iblis, it's got the same motifs. It's got the exact same characteristics. I think that, I think that in this telling of it, because this is a duplicate of, basically Surah 7, which we've already been through, that's part one, is that I think this is a better one because it explains exactly why. Now, why is Satan's response, give me respite? Why is that? And then, look, because this almost parallels, I think if you could do this same thing and then go to the book of Job in the Old Testament, I think you would have some fun with that, to see exactly how this parallels. You have someone who, well, at least here they give it a good one, because they're like, hey, look, I'm not bowing down to anybody except you. And he's like, well, no, I told you to bow down to this other motherfucker, so you didn't do that, so you're not bowing down to me. If I tell you to bow down, you're bowing down. You see, we're getting into some serious, like, meta ethics, which is interesting. I really love it. I think it's fun. But what I find interesting is these angels visit Abraham, and then before that we had, so this part here that I've highlighted would almost seem to be inserted like at a certain point in the text. So what I want to do is I want to go back, and this is going to be hard because, you know, we can't make it too easy. Yeah, I want to go to 7. Might be hard, isn't it? Is it hard? I have no idea. Yeah. Exactly, here we are. 7. Now, look, again, and I did this in part 1. When I go down and we get to this point, ayat 9. As for those whose weights are light, they will be the ones who lost their souls as a consequence of disregarding our revelation unjustly. And then all of a sudden, boom, we flip over to this. Now, this was part 1, but the point is, we have established you on earth, and we have provided for you the means of support therein. Rarely are you appreciative. Now see how this is much quicker. We created you, then we shaped you. Then we said to the angels, fall prostrate before Adam. They fell prostrate, except Iblis. He was not with the prostrators. Then we get into the argument. Right? See how that came out of nowhere? And then watch it go into nowhere. O children of Adam, you shall be clean and dressed nicely when you go to the masjid. Okay, so where did that switch? That was a code switch. See? Ding, 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 ding. Go down as enemies of one another. On earth shall be your habitation and provision for a while. He said, on it you will live, etc. O children of Adam. And then all of a sudden, bing, bing, boom, we're back to the regular story. We're back. And see, in both of these cases, this story has been inserted within a story of prophetic revelation, right? I'm not trying to, I mean, because we can go anywhere we want. Like I have this one here. Ar-Rahman, one of the greatest surahs of all time. You have no idea. I haven't even been through that yet. I mean, as far as the video goes, I mean, I've been through it, but I haven't been through it. The point being is that you have this concept of Satan basically being admonished or, cursed because he refused to bow to a being that he should not have to bow to because it was beneath him. Now, what is the question? How did that happen? But the more interesting question, I think, is how did it get into the Quran at the exact points that it did? That, to me, is a more interesting question. So, no, I'm not a Muslim. I am very critical of Islam. I love the religion, and I have much respect. But at the same time, there's no way, dude. I'm too far past that. And who?